Hi my beautiful friends, this is Marta here. This is a little bit unusual view for you, but I wanted to come clean and honestly share you how my scraps drawers looks like. When I said I am absolute scrap hoarder, I mean it. And I'm so happy and thankful for all of you when I asked you in my last video with the giveaway what type of the videos would you like to see. You all basically said unanimously that you would like to see more of the scrub video. So today I've just put my son in the nursery and I'm jumping on, and this week challenge we do gonna be playing with some green and gold color combination with additional help of a little bit sparkle with the gems and button. So let's get started. I'm gonna set this aside and we'll see you in a second. So I've started making my cards from card bases, and for that I've used a piece of the very sturdy cardstock in A4 size, which I cut lengthwise. Now I'm scoring them both in half, and I have two lovely top hinge opening cards. I had this leftover border, which I don't remember when was the last time I was using this die, but probably many years ago, and I had this green leftover piece. So I've decided to use it as a border and create this angle cut top panel, and for that I use this beautiful very palely sage green color pearl cardstock, and I'm trying to decide how to cut my cardstock just so I could have this nice angle, and for that I'm leaving it a little bit longer because it's always easier to trim it. I'm using this lovely card making magic, I believe it's called quadruple trellis embossing folder, and it's very beautiful detail embossing folder. Unfortunately I ripped a little piece once I was taking it away from the folder, but it doesn't really matter because I can use the liquid glue and no one will ever notice that the card was a little bit ripped. Of course, as always, my bottle of the glue was dry out, so I had to clean the nozzle a little bit, and here you can see I am just adhering these two pieces together and this teeny tiny bits to the corner, and it's hardly visible that there was tearing over there. As the challenge requires us to use combination between the gold and silver, I've decided to add a little teeny tiny strip of the gold paper. Did I say silver? I think I've meant gold and green. So for that I am adding this little sparkly shiny piece of the metallic gold card, and this one I am trimming with the scissors. However, for the other green border I trim it with the guillotine because I wanted to have this beautiful straight edge. Oh, I can't find my words today. Anyway, I've trimmed the bottom of the card to make sure it's matching the panel, and here I found this very old stickers. I don't even know where they are coming from. I had the box of the stickers which I was given by the lady who's been downsizing her craft room, and I've never really get into the stickers myself, so I still have many of them sitting in the box she was giving me, but I've decided to give it a go, and now after adhering this sentiment I actually know why I didn't like the stickers in the first place. They are so wiggly in comparison to the elements you can cut from the dies that it was quite hard to adhere them straight, and I just had a a little bit of the hard time here, but I finally managed. It's not super straight, it's not as perfect as I would like to, but I really like the font. So by the way, my friends, if you're watching and you know that if there is any alphabet like that which is resembling this font, I really like to know, because I'm absolutely loving this style of the letters. Now I am trimming this little panel and I will adhere it to the front of my card. One more thing I wish to tell you, my friends, that if you've got the embossed panel which has this really rich embossing, and sometimes your paper could a little bit tear and hatch, it's very important that once you adhere it to the card you put the double-sided tape or adhesive to all 4 sides. Secure it really well, because this will prevent it from ripping away, because you don't want that, you know, those little pieces to start hatching up and you know, just coming off. So once I adhere my my front panel, then I could add the sentiment, and for that I will be adding a little teeny tiny bit of the foam tape, just to raise it up a little bit from the card. And this way, because the card is very flat, I will add a little teeny tiny bit of the dimension. I really like the card. It was very simple and easy, and literally just took me a few minutes, so I'm super happy I've created that. Now it's time to moving on to another card. I'm trying to see what could I use, and I found these 2 pieces of the leftover, where one of them was this sage green embossed strip and the other one was just a regular design paper. I'm cutting them into little strips, and I've decided that I want to have a combination between these ones and couple of the glitter paper. I have this non-shred glitter paper, and to make my card even prettier, I've decided to cut it into very thin strips. So I will do a little borders in between my my main designer paper strips. So I'm cutting a few of these, and sometimes it's very hard to cut them super straight, so I've just give it a couple of tries just so I could have some spare one just in case. And now I am adding all of my strips using the liquid adhesive. I am putting a dash on this thin pieces and then just smear it, and once I attach them, I am just pressing towards the bigger strip, so everything is nice and tight, and all these elements are helping me to create this kind of a panel, front panel on my card. And once I will finish off, I will trim them on my guillotine. I really recommend you for the trimming like that to use a guillotine rather than scissors, because this way you've got this nice slick straight edge, which is really adding that elegance. Same way, if you are folding your cards and you notice that they are a little bit off and you've got this 1 millimeter difference, just always trim it a little bit with your guillotine, because this is this little detail which gives your cards always this professional look, and they just really look much nicer. Now I use this Card Making Magic Thinking of You die, which I've cut the front layer from the gold cardstock, and then I cut 4 additional layers from the pieces of the scrap white paper. I am adhering one on top of another one, and this way I've created myself this front sentiment, which is looking like an embellishment because it's nice and thick, and it just gives me this nice focal point and a little bit of the extra dimension to the card as well. All of the cards, like the 2 cards I've created just now, they both really flat, so they will go nicely to the envelope. However, because we're doing the extra steps on like having this adding a little dash of the foam tape to the sentiment, or cutting several layers of the sentiment and glue them one on top of another, this way this really gives it a nice dimension and makes your card appear more luxurious. Even though they are like flat one layer, that's really looking much nicer if you will build up your sentiments. You can try that for yourself. I do have this big box with the gems, which I've bought many years ago. I think that I actually bought these ones on my very first trip to the craft store, and I have them up till now, and I'm still halfway through, so you can tell I am not very like gem sparkly person. So I'm super happy that I actually get to play with the gems and buttons today for today's challenge. Now, my friends, if you are watching up to the point and you are enjoying my Cards of the Scraps series, please help me out by clicking the share button, post the video on your wall, share it with your friends, send it through the messenger or WhatsApp. Just help me to reach the friends, new friends, because my cards have been watching by nearly 80% of my friends who are watching me are the subscribers. And as much as this sounds very super, this means that I am coming off the YouTube algorithm and I am less likely to be recommended to the newer viewers. So for that, this is really slowing down the growth of my channel, and I really would like your help on that. So please click a share button, and if you like them, of course, give it a like as well. And thank you so very much. Now for the third card, I've decided to use this 6x6 ready card base, and I'm cutting myself a mat and layer. I'm using this gold embossed paper for the backing area, so I will have this nice golden border, and then I use this linen cardstock for my front panel. I have this bunch of the cut leftover leaves which I've made last year when I was using them for my Christmas cards, and I went all over the board, and I still have plenty of these. I cut a couple of the wreath using the hot of the press wreath die, and couple of the leaves which I use. This is the die from Card Making Magic, and that was the die I was using on my Sunday live classes. I believe that this is called spiky flower. What I'm aiming here is to create a nice wreath, and for that I'm just trying to build my base circle with those leaves, and I'm just gluing them. I am not really, trying to be super like, a perfect shape. Is just around to build up some sort of a dimension. So as you can see, my circle is very organic, but I think this is just something which add to the design as well. And this is a great card to actually use up all of the leftovers, all of the little pieces, leaves you have lying around. I am one of the person which always like to have plenty of the foliage. When I do my composition, I really like to build it up with different sorts of the leaves and elements. So I'm always end up with tons of these lying around, and they kind of be not matching like with it itself. So this card, this idea would be a perfect for using up some different pieces. Once I'm happy with my wreath, I've started building up this kind of a wreath elements, but instead of the flowers or berries, I've decided to use the buttons, because this is what was the challenge, and I'm super happy how this card turned out. I must tell you that this is one of my favorite from the 3 cards I am making today. This is one of my favorite, and to be honest, when I started, I didn't thought of creating any Christmas cards, but because as much I was building up this wreath, I was adding the different gems, different sparkles. Then I also reached for the gold color half pearls. As more as I was building it, I thought, oh, this card really gonna be making as a lovely Christmas creation. So for that, as I'm saying, I've just finishing off with using the golden pearls, and once I was using the pearls, this is a great opportunity to even up the design, because even if your like leaf composition is not looking super perfect shape, you can actually shape it back a little bit using the gems. So here I add all of the elements, and now before I will proceed with adding some extra elements, I need to add some glue to the back of my card, so I could then adhere it to my card base. And I'm doing that now because I actually didn't want to do it in the first place, because I thought I may add some splashes, and for that I was keeping the card base separately, because if I will add some splashes, I didn't want this white edge all around the card to get dirty. I'm adding this chipboardy quote saying Christmas time, which I really like, and that's my 3 cards for today ready. Thank you so very much. I hope you enjoy this week cards of the scraps, and you will decide to give it a go. And if you do, please don't forget to share them on our inspirational group, for which the links you will find down below. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, my friends, and bye bye.